more than half of my life in United States. I'm American citizen. And I lived most of my life in Boston, Massachusetts. So Boston is my hometown. I love Boston. Boston, in my opinion, is the city of both old and new blend together. I'm sure you know your history better than me. You know the city where the pilgrimage started, Tea Party, all that.
We got it.
And I had a beautiful time in that city. I taught at Harvard Law School, Islamic law, fiqh and fiqh comparative, between all schools of thought in Islamic law. That's my major. I wrote many books. My books being used in many universities around the world as curriculums. I have thousands of students around the world. I establish institutions all over the world, in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, my headquarters in that continent in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Europe, little bit of work, but my base is in Istanbul, Turkey. My wife is there, still living there. In America, I established many institutions, most of my work in the Northeast area. I taught in Manchester College in New Hampshire as well, through MSA, all of them. I used to teach MSA, Muslim Students Associations, which is, I used to teach at Harvard about 16 hours a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days, between 7 p.m. until 11 p.m.
And you had to have some kind of degree, you have multiple degrees?
This is a different story. You know, in the religion, you study two ways. Either you study through Islamic university system,
Right.
which is you are limited with certain few books.
Right.
You make some little booklet called 50, 60 pages, 100 pages. You call it thesis, you get your master. Another book, another 50, 60 pages, you get your PhD, and mashallah, now you are the most experts. I never studied this way. I studied through classical way, the old way, which is you go study all the books. So I'm not exaggerating if I tell you my personal library over than 7,000-8,000 reference in it. Just my personal one. As a researcher, as I told you, I wrote many books specifically in an Islamic law. And most of them being used as reference around the world. My book's being translated to many languages, many students, she's one of them. They are working on, she's translating to Russian language. She's from Russia.
Okay.
Some others they are from France, they translated to French language, Spanish language, Urdu language, and some of them it's being published now in Pakistan, Karachi. English language, and my translator, he's in Connecticut, and he's working full-time on translating all those works to English. Always I say I'm proud of where I came from as Jordan, and I am proud on the place where I lived in America. I'm not saying this here to brag in front of you. That's the reality. In our deen, you respect the place where you are in, doesn't matter what that place is. Because we believe this universe, Allah, you know, when I use the word Allah, it means God. Allah, the creator of everything, He created you and me, and He created this universe and one little thing's called Earth in this universe. It's a small dot in the solar galaxy. All of you are aware of that, which is the third planet. Allah, He created the whole universe.
The whole small thing.
And we are in the small little planet called Earth, which is the third planet in the solar galaxy, which is the whole galaxy is a dot in the sky. And even this Earth, 3/4 of it is water, as you know, all of you. So how much land left from it? 1/4. Half of that quart, as you know, deserts and forests. Very little, tiny percentage of people they living in. So how much left? Half of the quart of this earth. And as I travel a lot, I see that we should really look at things as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah I mean, I use word Allah, you have to get familiar with that. I mean God. As God created this planet and He blessed it, we should respect it and we should live in it in a very civilized way. Now, to not go off the subject, as you mentioned at the beginning, I will just talk briefly about Islam. Briefly, I mean, in 2 minutes just. I'm not going to talk more than that because I'm sure you have many questions you want to ask me. Islam, literal translation of word of Islam is peace. If you go to any dictionary, Islam is peace. Islam, from the old classical language, which it used to be Arabic and Hebrew. There used to be one language, as you know, and it's been split into 3 languages way later after that. Islam, if you see the same roots of Islam is in Hebrew, shalom. Shalom, salam, salam, shalom. It doesn't sound familiar to you? Yeah. The same. Salam, shalom. Same. And all the time, the Muslims, through the history, at the beginning, I mean, if you look at it as a religion, far away from political groups, far away from nonsense in media, it's a pure religion, does not have to do with anything. Always we lived with Jewish, and if you go to the history, I could document it for you, and I could point places on the map for you. Always we have been living with a Christian, and you could go to all the Arab world and Muslim world, you will find many Christians with many churches, and they are fine, and they're practicing their deen, their religion, nicely and comfortably, and we're not bragging for that. It's there. Anybody, it's there to go travel and see with their own eyes. Islam gives the rights for everybody as a human to live as they want. In Islam, in the Quran, it says, you have your deen, you have your religion, and I have my religion. And another chapter in the Quran, it says, La ikraha fi din. No force in religion. Nobody is going to force a belief in anybody. And you have to practice whatever you want to practice. And also, I have the freedom to practice whatever I believe it's religion, and I practice. From those 2 verses, you know that there is no terrorism here, because there is no force. There is no hate here. She's one of the community. Please, Sister Fakanda, have a seat. With your permission.
Absolutely, I didn't know.
After your permission,
I didn't
thank
know
you.
were with him, but-
Have a seat here. You could sit here. Where we are.
Talking about Allah and 3 different verses of the.
Yes, as she's following. She's on with us. Very good. From those verses, you understand that there is no force in deen, which it means I have to respect you as you are, as well as you have to respect me as I am. You could practice, and I could practice. So now your question is going to come. What we see in the news, what you see in the news is politics. I'm sorry, you don't make. If you want to mix politics with religion, that's not my profession. I hate politics. And I hate everybody talks about politics and politicians too. Why? Because you have to have too many faces. You have to be a hypocrite. You have to have one face in front of your wife in the house, and one face in front of God knows what's under the table, girlfriends and whatever. And you, am I right or not? And you have to have another face for the newspaper, and another face for the TV, and they put some makeup so you could look nice. That's basically what it is. So I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to tell you the truth as it is, as it came, as a classical way, as traditional way, as long time, before any groups comes out, and before any politics comes in to start making manipulation between people. People, they are people. Islam, they look at the people as humans. And even we say human rights, and I could source from the Quran for you. وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ لِتَعَارَفُوا إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. We created you as people. He never said Muslim, if you realize. People. Shu'uban, nations, tribes. And so you will know who will be close to Allah, the one who worship better. And he will be closer. Our deen as Islam based on mercy. And it's so clear in the Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. When he talked about our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be on him, as we respect all the prophets. And it's part of our belief. Anybody put any other prophet down, he will be out of Islam. He will be considered not Muslims. Anybody will put Moses down, Jesus down, Abraham, no, any prophet. To be a Muslim, you have to love all of them equally. You have to respect all of them equally. And if you don't do, you will be out of Islam. You will not consider it as a Muslim. That's another point. It will tell you, if you respect and love the prophets, then you're gonna respect and love the one who follow him. Does not need rocket scientists to figure it out. It's there. Based on mercy, because Allah said in the Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We sent you as a mercy for all mankind. He never said for Muslims only. He said all mankind. He never said for Arabs only. As an Arab, he came in Saudi Arabia. No, all mankind. He never said black, white, yellow, whatever. All, everybody equal. We sent you as a mercy for everyone. And if you look in the history, when the Muslims, they used to be way stronger than now. Look in the history. Any churches being burned down, any synagogue being knocked down in the Muslim world. Probably some incident, fire, some came here and there, and that happens here also too in America. But that's not really, you cannot build a statement on accidents. We're talking about general. It's always protected. Always they have rights. And in Islam, the citizens, they are in the front of the law equal. Like let's say somebody commit a crime in Jordan. Let's talk about Jordan, the country I came from. They don't go in the court when they come enter, and what's your religion? If you are Muslim, we're gonna treat you different. And if you are a Christian, you will never find that at all. You enter in the court, the judge, he will go by the law. Equally, no difference. You could go check that on the internet. You could go visit there and you see with your own eyes, not just listening to the media. The media, it's something to manipulate things. Because usually when you put something in the media and you put it in a nice way, nobody will listen to it. But if I want it in a miserable way, I make it like a disaster. Oh, everybody will be watching. Now I could put commercial. Now I could take a lot of money for that commercial being put in the middle. And that's how I make my money. This is what's going on. All the time in the history, Muslims, they worked with other religions who's existing in their countries. Everywhere, not just in America here. In America here, I could name all the rabbis for you. I am working with them. If you ask your rabbi about my name, they know me very well. The priests as well. And we have a meeting every month. I have talked with Dick Chipani, one of the biggest priests here. Rabbi Swai, if you are familiar with. It's the biggest rabbi in Orange County. And always we work together. That's here, and not just here because it's in America. No, as I told you, I am as everywhere I go, that's how we do, and that's how we work. Now, this is the deen in a summary, because we could talk more than that. I want to hear your questions. I want to stop within a second, inshallah, within a minute. This is the religion as it's supposed to be in the book, in the Quran, on the teachings of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be on him. And that's the media. Here is the media. Of course, I'm not saying there is no groups. There is groups. Anybody will deny there is a group, he will be blind. Of course, we have ISIS, we have Al-Qaeda, not because we are talking here to show something, it's the opposite of the reality. Go see what's the media in the Muslim world that talk about those people. Who's fighting them now, anyways? The Muslims themselves, the one who's fighting them. You watch the news and you see. So it means they are not agreeing with. The governments themselves include the people in those countries, they are fighting them. It means they are not getting along with them because what they are doing is against Islam. And we're not bragging here to make Islam look nice. Islam always is nice. Islam is always nice. He doesn't need to put makeup on it to make it nice. No. This is a reality. We're talking about reality. You could go see it yourself overseas, and you could go check it on the net now. The whole world, it became a small village. But when you check, you have to be really fair. You have to visit different websites. Not you're gonna go to some websites full of poison and just talking in a negative way. You have to visit everywhere. If I want to make a research, I have to listen for every different opinions to come up with a solution. You know what I'm saying? And mashallah, all of you are university students. You know what it means research. You know how to do research. So, when you do research, you have to be fair. Do research in different areas, different angles, different books, different nations, different groups, different this. So you could come up with a clear idea. Not you will be stuck in one corner listening to one channel in the news on TV or listening to certain website and that's it. No, you're going to see the whole picture. Probably from your questions, we could understand subjects more. I'm ready. And before I start, I thank you very much for inviting me here. And I appreciate all of you that you gave me a time to come talk with you. And really, this is from my heart. Because not a lot of people, they will listen in our time.
Okay, questions?
Yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead. William, go ahead.
I don't mean any disrespect.
Go ahead.
I understand that Islam originally, well, maybe not originally, I think it was like 700 something. It spread through war. And I'm not saying that you are bad, because, in the Crusades, the Christians were the ones burning down, how do I say this?
Cities and areas and towns, yes.
But I'm not saying that condemns anybody or any religion, because at times everybody does bad things. But why do you feel that happened? Was it a way of spreading the religion, or was it just people took it the wrong way?
Very good question. Anyways, let me tell you one thing, young man. Religion, you could spread anything but not a belief by force. I could make you alcoholic by giving you little by little without realizing, and now you will be you have addiction, and now you'll become alcoholic or drugs or whatever. But a belief, it's something you have to feel it in your heart. First, it has to make logical sense for you in your brain. Then it will slide from your brain to your heart. So when I say as a Muslim, Allah is one, as no partner. Not one as a number, because one you could make half and quarter and whatever. So one as no partner. And does not have a beginning. I have to approve that logically to your mind before you accepted it in your heart. So when I say no beginning, because if he has a beginning, it will be a weakness and will be someone has a power to start him at that beginning. Then cannot be God. So if there is God, which is that what we believe in Allah, he has no beginning and he has no end. Because if there is a beginning, will be some started him at that beginning, it cannot be God. And if there is no end, if there is an end, who takes care of this universe and all this creation? So will be no end. After you logically accepted the belief in your mind, it will slide automatically to your heart and start feeling it. And now it will settle in your heart, and now you consider a believer. It will not happen by gun or by sword or by any weapon. It's an idea. You cannot plant an idea by force, and you cannot kill an idea too as well. That's the most stupid things what they are doing, is we going to strike to kill. You killing an idea, you kill people, they carry this, but you know what happened? You kill one, there is another two. You kill two, it will become 10. You have to kill the idea itself. Could you kill it with weapon? No. That's the reason I have been saying since early 90s, you have to educate the people by setting up curriculums, by setting up teachings, correct teachings, so the ideas, it will dissolve. That's how you get rid of the ideas, not to kill the idea. Is Islam spread in very serious, spread by force? Absolutely not. Is they are using the force? Yes, some crazy lunatic in a period of time in the history, they did that. But is Islam spread because of that? Go to the history at the time they used that, you will find nobody become a Muslim at that time. They became Muslim at the time when it went peacefully, like when they went to India. Never quoted that one person being killed there. Went to that peninsula like Pakistan, Afghanistan, that area. Never killing happened there. They accepted the deen, the religion, without any killing being involved. But when you do killing, you will not bringing the people to accept. You put in the people hate, not accepting. And this is contradictions.
Can I ask you where Muhammad and Allah fit together? You said Allah always was.
Always,
And he was, he is, and always will be.
Mhm.
Okay? Where does Muhammad fit in that scheme?
Muhammad-
Around 600, 700 AD, correct?
no, are using, you're using,
I'm using Judeo-Christian.
you're
terminology.
using the solar calendar. 1400 years ago, yeah, it's about 700,
Right.
like what you
But
said.
where does Allah and Muhammad fit? Where in the scheme?
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah, the most great, He is the creator and always He is one. Time of Adam, time of Abraham, time of Moses, time of Jesus, time of Muhammad doesn't change. Because if it changed now, logically, you will be contradicting with yourself. Because you say there is God at the time of Moses and now our God is different at the time of Jesus, now third God. This is not a religion. This is a corruption now here. Always the belief is a belief. It cannot change. Always the Lord is one. It cannot change. The creator is a creator. Cannot change all the time. But Muhammad is a prophet. Is a human being sent to guide the people. Same like Jesus. We believe he's a prophet. He gets sent and the prophet Jesus, his name is Masih. Messiah. The roots is Messiah in Hebrew and Arabic. And that what it means is Messiah, the one who purified. Like everywhere he went, he purified the land. And Jesus, he never had a place to sleep. Never quoted that he has a house or a pillow or a mattress. By the way, he is about half an hour from my house where he born. And I've been visited over there many times. He always went to purify the land through the message, as Allah he sent him as a messenger. And to call people to be nice, to be good, to practice right, all that. And same thing, Muhammad is being sent to call the people back to worship Allah as it should be, and to call them back for the mercy, for the love, for the care, for how to take care of each other, how to love each other, how to be nice to each other. That's how he's being sent. Now you're going to say, why is then Muhammad and Jesus and Moses? Well, you don't need all of that if God is one. You don't need all many prophets. No. The religion as a belief is always one. But the message is always different because each time you need new rules and regulations.
Well, okay, I don't want to make that controversial. Go ahead, Sandra.
I always thought that God has very different meanings. Like, for example, Allah, well,
Go ahead. Be comfortable. Talk whatever is inside your hearts. I want to hear it.
well, they say Christ is God, or Jesus, or, I'm trying to think here,
And the question, Sandra, is
I understood what she's trying to say.
what is the word for Jewish?
Yahweh. Yahweh.
No, it's not
Jewish?
Yahweh. It's, starts with an H. Hamar or something like, I can't get it
Mhm,
at the
mhm,
time.
mhm.
But I don't know if you'll know
I'm
that.
familiar. Yes, go ahead.
Yes. And each language or each religion kind of has their own name for God.
Mhm.
Even the Aztecs even had their own name for God. They believed in a God, but they
describe
They-
different
they describe it differently.
and has different attributes.
Yeah.
That's the reason here,
And it's funny because everybody is always seeking,
I believe.
for belief. And, I think sometimes that it's, sometimes we have to look back and think about our spirituality. Like, I know, like, the Universal Church, they also, have their own thing too. So it's, and,
How it become like that? That's your question, like why it's in different,
right, I just don't understand why we have all of these different segments of,
even though all they say we believe in God.
right, and,
Oh, Sandra, let him answer now. So
That's basically the
Yeah,
question.
so-
It goes, it revive around this point.
Right.
Here is, like what I said, the religion, everybody, they will seek faith, like what you said. This is, everybody agreed in this statement. Even the Hindu, for instance, you ask them, do you believe in God? They said, yeah. Who's your God? That cow. They believe in the cow is their God. You ask somebody else in India, there is over than 4,000 religion just in India by itself. Do you believe in God? Yes. What's your God? That star. There is a certain star comes in a certain time of the night. That's their God. There is somebody, oh, I believe in the tree. I believe in this. I believe in that. Everybody seeks a belief, but always there is one true belief. As I know, I'm talking about as Muslim, as Islam, because you asked me about Islam here. That's the reason I'm coming to talk about Islam, and I will answer what you said. As Muslims, we believe about God as Allah, and why we insist to use word Allah. And if you see me, I will tell you that's what you mean, God, but I go back to use Allah. Allah, because that's the only word in the Arabic language. It does not mean male, does not mean a female. It does not mean any of his creation, because he does not resemble any of his creation. Anything you imagine in your mind, Allah is beyond your imagination, because he has no beginning and no end. Allah, he has no beginning and no end, then he does not resemble any of his creation. Then if he does not resemble any of his creation, then he is one. One as no partner, not one as a number. And he has the attributes of will, and the attributes of knowledge, and the attributes of power. We believe he has the attributes of knowledge, and all his attributes, like him, no beginning, no end, and does not resemble any of what it appear in your mind. In another way, he knew before he created the creation that all of us in this moment will be sitting and talking about this topic. So exactly it happened as he knew it. Then he willed it to happen exactly as he know it, and he created it with his power to happen exactly as he willed it at the time. He knew it exactly as he know it, and it happened. That's how we believe about Allah. Now when you say about our brothers in the Christianity, and I have many friends who's Christian in here and in Jordan and in many places in the world. And you know about Christian and Jewish, specifically those three, they are specifically Jewish and Christian. They have special in the hearts of the Muslims, because they are mentioned in the Quran as we call them the people of the book, Ahlul Kitab. Yes.
there's also a Christian Jewish sect
Yes.
as well.
That's what we call them.
Messianic Jews.
Yes, thank you.
Can we get another question? Come on, guys. No, I don't want to cut you short. I mean, you
That's
explained
okay.
it. Go ahead, Sean.
Tell me.
ISIS, why would they use the name Islam? And being a terrorist organization, I've done research into it, being a police sciences major. I've done research into Islam as well. I know it's a religion of peace.
Thank you.
Why would ISIS use that name if they're doing such horrible things?
Always the criminals, when they wanna justify their crime, to get some ignorance without knowledge for supporting them, they try to use something big as an umbrella to get support. The guy who blew the whole entire thing in Oklahoma about he's a Christian and he done it in the name of Christ. All of you familiar with that big incident here in America. Is anything has to do with the Christian here? Anything has to do with the Christ? Of course not, but he used that. You know those groups in a few years ago, they are surrender, I forgot. I don't want to say something, I'm not sure about the time and the date. But it happened here, many incidents, and you are familiar with. And they used word Christianity. Is this has anything to do with the Christian? Of course not. You know Hitler, what he did with the Jewish? When he went and burned them. Is this anything? And Hitler, he considered himself a believer. You know Hitler, he considered himself a believer. Is this a belief to go burn people alive? You're not allowed to burn animals, never mind animals. In Islam, you're not allowed to burn trees, because if you have a need for it, then you cut it, you burn it to get some heat or to cook something over it. More than that, you are not allowed to do it. So, here is, they are using Islam as an umbrella because there is many ignorance. You see, they are joining ISIS, many ignorance. They never have any class in their life about the deen. And they get brainwashed through some of them. They are in need for money. Probably they get paid money. You know, not everything is a belief. There is many things we don't know about. So, but that's what it is. I appreciate how you started your statement. You researched about Islam and it's the religion of peace, and ISIS, they are using this. This statement for me is enough. They are using it. And Islam does not have anything to do with it, and it's approved from all Muslim world. You know their statements. And not just the statements, they are sending their air force, they are sending people to fight them back. You know Jordan, you know Saudi Arabia, you know, many countries, they are going against that. And now, thanks God, Russia now they came in. Good. They are everybody working to get rid of them. This is good. Whatever who comes to get rid of this, of those people who claim they are, if they not claim they are Muslims, that's a different story. But you claim under a religion which is religion of peace and religion of love and religion of care. I will just mention one hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, one of his teaching. He said, take care of your neighbors. Take care of your neighbors. Take care of your neighbors. He said, until I thought Jibril, the angel who came with this order to him, that he's going to give the neighbor part of the inheritance, like as he's part of the family. He never said Muslim neighbor, no, neighbor, period. Doesn't matter what neighbor that neighbor is. And we should be really working with each other without looking at each other, where we came from, what language we speak, what color we have, what religion we follow. We are all human. And if you look at the human, what's their dream? Their dream, I want to go to the university, I want to graduate, I'm going to get married, going to have a nice house, have children, have a car, have all. If you ask a Chinese, Japanese, American, whatever, you're going to get the same answer. Do you think their dream is different in Arabia than your dream here in America? It's the same thing. They want to get married, they're going to have children, they're going to have a house, they're going to have a car, they're going to live peacefully. Same thing. So this is the religion in general, and ISIS and all those terrorist group as they describe him, and even where terrorist is not even enough description, is beyond terrorist. If there is a word to give more descriptions for those, I would say animals even better than them. That's basically.
Next question. Go ahead. No, Denny.
In your religion, it says that it's very peaceful and you don't judge anybody. Like, you know, like in Christians, some of them judge people. Like, what do you do for that? Like, you know, like if you, like, how do you not judge somebody in like the Islam faith?
This is, I think, in every religion. Now, how they do interpretation for it, if it's done in a Christianity different than this, then it's not in the Christianity. The one who done the interpretation, he making mistakes. If you sit with priests who really experts in Christianity, they will answer the same what I'm going to answer now. Same thing with the Judaism, and same thing with Islam. You don't judge anybody in Islam. You know what? Because nobody knows what's the end and what's the future except God. A person in front of you, he looks like or she looks like horrible. They could be waking up tomorrow and they will be better than you. So who you are to judge? The only one judge is God. And do you know what God is judging? Nobody knows. then you leave it for him and it's not of your business. Then what's my business? My business is to advise. To advise in a humble way. To advise in a very simple way. To advise in a love. I should show the love so the people, they will listen. You know, you should advise in a very humble way. Not, without arrogance, without showing off. Because you want to have stability in the hearts of the people who's listening. That's how you advise. But that's how we look. We don't judge. In Islam, you are not supposed to judge or make any rules on this.
Next question. William?
You are, easy to say, an expert on Islamic law. And I'm a criminal justice major. I like law myself. In
Good.
nations that have Islamic law, because I don't understand quite what it is, are they laws based off of the Quran?
Yes. Islamic law is based on two sources. Quran, which is the book Allah He revealed to our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be on him, and whatever Muhammad, the Prophet, he taught, which is all his teachings is being written in major books and narrated all the way to him. We have the people who's expert, they know those books. We know those books when we go do research. And those, the rules is being taken from those main two sources. About the law in Islam, there is two types or two divisions. One division we call them for the people, and one division for the leaders. And the people, they don't have anything to do with it. The one is for the people is the worship. The leader, he cannot come and he said, hey, I don't want you to cover your hair. We'll tell him, get lost in 2 words. That's not of your business. I don't want you to pray 5 times a day. That's not of your business. I don't want you to fast in Ramadan. That's not of your business. You see, worship. Now, justice system. Somebody killed somebody. Killed your relative. Oh, I'm going to go kill him because no here. Has to go to the court of law. To the judge. He has to look for the evidence. It could be what you saw is different than somebody else who done it. And even what you saw is the truth. It's not you to do it. And if you do it, you'll go to prison for it. It's now the work of whom? The leader. When we say the leader, is whatever who works underneath him, from police, detectives, to get the crime, bring it to the court, the judge to rule, all that. So this is the duty of whom? The leader. Politics. Not anybody could go make a group like ISIS and they, we are the Khalifa and we are the leader. Leaders, who put you a leader? Who make you a leader? That's the question here. You see how contradictions becomes? This is the duty of the leader of the country. When you say the leader of the country, the leader, the one who's voted, like here, who's the leader? Obama. That's the leader of America here. That's the one who's voted. You see what I'm saying? That's the leader. The leader, he has the politics to do. Peace between him and the countries, other countries, trades, embassies, ambassadors, all that agreements. That's his business, not the people. This is how it works. I mean, it's a very wide, you know what I'm saying, it's a very wide topic. But as a summary, is something for the people, which is the worship and what's related to them, and something for the leader and whatever who presenting them, and that goes to the justice system to deal with. That's how the law in Islam.
All right. Next question. Jackie?
Okay, I'm a little confused because you said that Islamic means peace, right?
Islam
Peace.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.
Okay,
Peace.
never mind.
Okay. Brittany?
Probably my dialects between the B and B. You know, you want to know the Arabs with that letter. Pizza, they call it pizza. Pepsi,
Like
with
Max
Pepsi.
Weber is Max Weber. Brittany, go ahead.
What in your religion requires to wear the headpiece, and is it like required to wear them, or can you not?
Let me ask you, young, beautiful lady, this question. Do you believe in Mary, right?
Yeah.
And do you put Mary in the picture without, or usually she has a nice veil?
Whoa. Did you say Mary
Mary.
or marriage?
Mary.
Mary, the mother of God?
Mary,
Oh,
Image of
okay.
Jesus.
Okay, go ahead.
How we draw her in the picture? We don't draw. In Islam, we are not allowed to draw. And we're not allowed to make any image for her. By the way, she is mentioned in the Quran as the best lady Allah created. That's how we look at Mary. The best lady. But how you put hair? You put hair covered with respect. And that's how it came in our religion. We look at the woman as a respectable lady, and we don't look at her as a beauty for sexual relation. No, because I'm going to tell you why. When the lady is young, it will be beautiful. When the man is young, he will be handsome. Get old like me, that's it, done. No more. You're going to look for somebody who's 20, 25, 30, maximum, you know. So that's how it works. But if you're really looking for that, then what it attracts you is what? Is the beauty and the look. So here is, no, we're going to cover it. What attracts you about the woman in Islam is her manners, her behaviors, her personality, her brain, because this is, even if she is 70 and 80 and 90 years old, this will not go. Actually, will increase because of wisdom, because of knowledge, and now the respect will be increased more. That's the reason the veil.
Okay, could you explain to us Sharia law, if you pronounce that way, Sharia, and Hadith?
Sharia law and Hadith?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sharia law, when you had mentioned before about William's question about the legal process, you're talking from a Muslim perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Muslim law.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's no Muslim law in this country so far. Okay, so what is Sharia law?
And what's Hadith? Okay, I'm going to ask your question. Give me just here in this question about 2 minutes straight. Don't cut me off here.
No.
Because I had to clear it very nicely. Sharia law is coming from Hadith and Quran. I told you the main two sources is Quran and Hadith is the Arabic word for whatever Prophet Muhammad, peace be on him, said or did or agreed on. Said whatever he says. Did whatever he used to do, like he used to pray this way, his companion, they said, we saw him standing this way, did it this way, done it this way, so became a hadith. Agreed on, like when they used to say, we used to do such and such in front of him, and he never said anything. If it's wrong, he will correct them. Then the fact he never corrected them, then it became rules. So those, what we call them hadith. Sharia law comes from Quran and hadith. This is the Sharia law. Now the fact you said this country, this country is my country, as it's your country. We are all American here, and we all love America here. It's the country of peace, and may Allah protect this country. This is from our heart, we talk this. Let me tell you one thing. Here is, if you are invited somebody to your house, you tell me, please come, I'm inviting you to my house. It's understood from the invitation many things without saying it, which it means, welcome to my house and don't steal anything from my house. Don't break anything in my house. Don't change the decoration in my house. Don't criticize my house. Why are you putting this couch here? Why are you putting this TV here? I think if you put this TV here, it's better. Don't do any of